Hello, hey friends, hi, 𝗵𝗲𝗍𝗃 here, good to see you here. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful triggers that attract your ideal clients. So I hope you're doing awesome. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how the brain, how we can speak to different parts of the brain to attract the right people and actually make sure that our content is working in a way that the brain processes and absorbs information. I don't know about you, but I've often get this, used to get this feeling where marketers were doing something magical with my thought processes. Have you ever had that feeling? Before I understood what they were doing, I remember feeling like they had this, like, that's the secret code, this secret language that they knew. I was like, why am I buying that? They've done something to my thought process. They've influenced me. And I got really obsessed with learning about influence because I noticed that there were certain things that they were doing that pulled me in. And then when I looked at other things, it kind of pushed me away and I just scroll past it. So for a long time, I didn't know why. And then I started really studying influence. I studied how the brain works, how it processes information, what it does when it's receiving information, and how to influence someone, how to actually inspire someone. And so I realized the reason that when our content is structured in the way that our brain actually processes, we can really effectively capture the attention of our ideal clients, and we can maintain their attention throughout the length of our video or throughout an email or a blog post or a post that we're sharing. So we want to obviously grab attention and then keep attention. That's really important. And I used to just write a whole heap of content when I first started out as a coach. I would just teach cool things. I was like, teach, share value, and all these how-to tips. But the challenge with sharing how-to tips is that people can Google them. People can go to ChatGPT now. People can find all this information everywhere. There's no shortage of information. So we need to make sure that our content's more strategic than that. We want it to get cut through. We want to make sure it stands out online from all the other coaches that are doing the same thing. And so I really dove deep into understanding how the brain works. And I learned that there are 3 powerful brain triggers that we can speak to with our content. And they're incredibly powerful to tap into. It's like giving a megaphone to our message. And once you know how to speak to each of these parts of the brain, you can confidently expect a real increase in leads from your emails, from your videos, from your web pages. Just imagine how good that would feel. So this approach really holds one of the keys to making sure that your content is like a magnet to your ideal clients. And so I want to go through some of the nuances in this in this video. So if we want to attract the right people to us, we need to look at speaking to the 3 parts of the brain. Now, by the way, this work is based on the work of Paul D. MacLean. He was an American neuroscientist and physician back in the 1960s, and he introduced the triune brain concept. So basically, the triune brain is a way of describing the 3 different layers of the mammalian brain, and it's become a widely used way of thinking about the brain. There are other neuroscientists that came in and said it's overly simplistic, and it is still quite controversial, but the measure of truth is often effectiveness. Does it work? I love the simplistic nature of it because do you like simple? Do you like to think that content creation could actually be simple and easy? And as soon as we go into neuroscience, sometimes my brain is like, what? Like the basal ganglia and the neurons and the neurotransmitters. Sometimes I can be a bit like, how do I apply that into my content? So I want to break it down so it's really simple for you. So the triune brain theory, it consists of the reptilian complex, which is at the base of the brain. It's the oldest part of the brain. The limbic system, which is the emotional imagination part of the brain, and the neocortex at the front of our brain, which is responsible for intelligence, for objective or rational thoughts. And what happens with a lot of content creators that aren't doing very well is they go from the top down rather than the bottom up. So you might want to write that down if you're taking notes. We want to speak from the bottom up, and I'll explain exactly what I mean and how to do this. By the way, if you're here live, I'd love it if you could just pop a hashtag live into the comments now. I'd really appreciate that. If you're watching the replay, just pop a hashtag replay, and please feel free to interact. Drop what is standing out to you. I always love to hear your thoughts. Always appreciate that you're here live and here watching the replay. So good to have you here, and I'd love to read your comments when I come off this video. So please do drop comments in. So let's have a look at the triune brain and how to speak to it through our content. So the base of the brain is responsible for instincts. And that means when we're scrolling on our phone and we are making very, very quick decisions, it's the reptilian brain survival instinct mode that's really making the decisions about what to stop on and what websites to look at and face it. It's happening super quick. So we need to understand the reptilian brain. It really reacts well to a few different things, and it repels a few different things. It works really well with surprise, intrigue, curiosity. That instinctual level loves that stuff. Novelty, it's fast. Think of like 10-year-old child level. So it's not going to waste time on something that feels unsafe, or, you know, when you're scrolling, we're not going to stop on something that's like out of alignment with our values if we don't think it's going to be a good use of our time. So when we're creating content to speak to the reptilian brain, we've got to think of those things. How do we grab attention? How do we keep it simple? How do we speak to the reptilian brain, which is moving fast, which is high energy? It also reacts very negatively to certain things. It reacts negatively to boredom because it's so quick. It's not a slow processing part of the brain. It's like bang, bang, bang. So it doesn't like anything boring. It doesn't like anything too complicated. So we've got to think at the start of our content, our videos, our emails, our social media posts, are we being too complex? Most of us try to be too clever rather than being super clear and simple. And if we overcomplicate it, the home brain's like, nah, I'm out of here. I want to go to something that's easy to consume. So we want to make easy to consume content, and we want to create an easy yes. So someone's just like, yes, 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 yes. So we need to make sure there's no doubt in that person's mind, no uncertainty, no complication, that this is going to be a good use of their time, that this is who it's for. It's why it's really good to call your audience out at the start of your content. Are you this? Are you this? Do you want this? Do you want to avoid this? And speaking very specifically only to our ideal clients, because the hindbrain, it doesn't like anything vague. When I say hindbrain, it's the reptilian brain, the realm of the instincts. It doesn't like, it doesn't like anything that's too fluffy. So it's like, do you want to live your dream life? It's like, well, of course I do. What kind of question is that? But if it was specific, like, do you want to know exactly how to, you probably wouldn't start with, do you want to know? You start generally with a problem, but let's say you're getting away from the pain, for example, you might say something like, do you want to know exactly how to avoid the 3 most common mistakes that most parents make when they're speaking to their child? Yes, I do. So it's just a nice, easy yes, but specific. It's not super big picture, because otherwise you blend in with everyone else. The more high level we go, the more we just blend in with everyone else. If we can get quite specific into a problem, then people have that problem and they want to solve it, then they'll normally stop. So that's the reptilian brain. That's the first thing we want to speak to. The second realm that we have is the limbic system. It's the realm that's also known as the imagination. And this is what we call the midbrain. It's responsible for emotion. I heard recently it talked about the thinking brain, the feeling brain, and the body brain. So instincts would be the body brain. Feeling brain is this realm of emotion and imagination and capturing people. So we actually want to create a feeling in their body. We need to speak to their emotion to have them feeling something. We need to turn up the desire they have for the thing that we can help solve. Because it's not off in front of people's minds. You know, if you think of our brain like a filing cabinet, it's not this simple, but if you think of it like there's so many different things that we bring to the front of mind what's most important at the moment, and then something else comes front of mind, and then that moves back and something else comes front of mind. And if we get distracted, that comes front of mind. So this person has a desire already deep within them, but maybe it's just kind of like banked up with all this stuff in front of it. And we need to like work through that and get right to that system, that not system, that part of the filing system in their brain that's where their desire is, and we turn up the desire. So we actually evoke emotion. I was sharing this yesterday with some people about how do we actually think about an emotion we want our audience to feel before we create our piece of content. Because a lot of people aren't really intentional and strategic with the job of that piece of content. What do we want that piece of content to do? So I recommend you always start with the end in mind. You go, okay, what's the purpose? And I teach this to my clients all the time. What's the purpose of the piece of content? What is the intention? What's the call to action? What are we inviting them to do? And it's not buy my program. Maybe sometimes it is, but most of the time it's one simple thing like comment below or DM me, or do you want a free resource? Or it might just be, I'd love to hear your top tip or something like that. But we want them to not just think and go, oh, that's interesting, and just absorb it, but inspire them to some new action, even just a little small thing. And then we need to build that desire for them to want to take that action. So many people don't do this. They just use rational arguments to try and convince someone, you know, especially right at the beginning of posts. I see this all the time. And I think you're going from the top down. You're trying to be really clever rather than being clear. 10-year-old level, simple, then evoke emotion. And there's multiple ways you can do this. You can tell stories. You can educate on certain points. You can shift beliefs, shift their perspective. You can use shocking statements. You can open loops, create curiosity in their mind, plant a whole lot of seeds. Like there's lots of things that are involved in this. By the way, I'm going deeper into detail in my upcoming workshop on Saturday, if you want to know more about this, because there's so much that I can share with you about how to speak to the brain in your content so that you attract your ideal clients. Just drop the word workshop, by the way, if you're interested in hearing about that. I really dive deep into how to actually do it. I give lots of examples as well. But that's about the emotion. We need to move people. We need to shake them up. We need to get them feeling something different when we share our piece of content. And when we're strategic with our content, when we evoke emotion and we build a desire to take that leap from where they are to where they want to be, and we actually shift their perspective, we shift a belief, we start with their instincts and we go into that realm of imagination, we start getting people feeling a bit of tension in their body, which is exactly what we want to do to actually make a change. And so we can paint scenarios showing that we really understand their problem, and we can have them imagining what life can be like on the other side. So we might say something like, imagine if you understood exactly how to speak to these brain triggers, you knew exactly what words and phrases to avoid, you knew exactly the power words that triggered people to inspiring them to take action. And this actually led to continuous leads, people reaching out to you in your Facebook Messenger, people replying to your emails, people messaging you and asking, hey, how do I work with you? You see your calendar start to fill up. You see your Stripe account down, you see all these payments coming through for your program, and you start working with people and you start seeing the transformations that you're making in their life. What kind of impact could that have on your business, on your life, on your lifestyle? Seeing those numbers coming into your bank account, that money that you can go and now spend and invest and save while you've got that lifestyle freedom, catching up with your friends for lunch during the week, not being so chained to your laptop, enjoying holidays, knowing that your clients are being looked after, because you develop the skill of influence, of being able to attract the right clients and being fully booked as a coach. Imagine how that would feel. It's really inspiring that this is possible when you learn the skill of creating compelling content. So that was a bit of an example of painting some scenarios and some scenes where people can really picture themselves. Number 3, the third realm that we go to here is the intelligence. We now can start appealing to the reptilian brain. So we've got to the prefrontal cortex. So we've got instincts, the reptilian brain, the base of the brain, instincts, reptilian brain. We've got imagination, the realm of the limbic system, the emotions, and then we've got the neocortex. This is where intelligence happens, reasoning, logic, making sense. And it's really important that once people are bought into what you're saying through their instincts, once they're imagining it, which happens really quickly, by the way, when you know how to do it, then we want to back it up with rationale. Then we want to show that we're trustworthy and that we have the evidence to back up what we're saying, and we have the experience that this actually works. It's not this fluff, but there are actual facts, there's actual data, there is proof that this works, what you are telling them. And you show them that you're trustworthy, you show them through your organized knowledge that you have experience, that you have credibility. And people are putting out a lot of logical content, but sometimes they miss those other two parts, and so it doesn't get read. So they've got this really well thought out logical piece of content, but it's like people miss it because it's almost like you have to earn the right to influence. You have to earn the right to influence with logic by passing through those other two, because it's how the brain works. When we use this sequence of what's already existing in our audience's brain, then people go, wow, this is really interesting. This is intriguing. I want to know more. I want to go and watch her other videos. I want to read her emails. I want to be on her list. I want to be in her Facebook group. That's what starts happening. It's so much more than just giving people tips. If all you do in your content is give people tips, then there's no tension. Like, why would they want to work with you? So when you build trust with your content by providing great value, people actually start to become almost addicted to your content. They get a bit obsessed by it, and they not only are followers, but they become fans, they become clients, they become lifelong raving fans. And that's what's possible when you know how to apply these brain-based triggers into your content. And I know it's one thing to understand it intellectually. It's another thing to actually know how to apply it and bring it to life and do it in your own business. So to actually do it, that's the tricky part. So if you want to know how to do it, if you want to know how to turn your content into clients using these brain-based principles, I'm sharing exactly how to do it in my workshop on Saturday. Pop the word workshop if you're interested, and I'll get all the details out to you so you can check it out. It's a free live online workshop. It's called How to Get Coaching Clients with Easy Marketing. And I'm showing you exactly how to do it so you can get really amazing clients fast and consistently. If you get this right, ultimately you'll fill your coaching business and your events with really high quality clients. So I'm diving deep into the exact 3 things to focus on in each section of your content to appeal to the 3 parts of the brain. I'm giving loads of examples of how to do it, and you'll actually start doing it on the day, and I'll help you with it step by step. I'll guide you through it. I'm also sharing how to create a 24/7 marketing machine using my really simple but really powerful signature 4-step funnel system. And I know funnels can sound really scary and hard, but I promise you, I break it all down and you'll just see how easy it is to insert it into your business. You'll learn the best ways to attract clients and sign up clients, and even sign up multiple clients without doing any sales calls. And this is all part of my client attraction formula, and it's a step-by-step process that you can use to attract clients to you really fast and really consistently and predictively. So if you want to learn how to do it, just pop the word workshop into the comments and I'll get back to you. You'll also connect with other amazing business women and we'll have a whole heap of fun, and you'll walk away with a whole heap of notes and heaps of value. And we also do an action plan at the workshop together, so you know exactly what to do. So pop the word workshop if you're interested. Quick recap: 3 powerful brain triggers that attract your ideal clients. Number 1, speak to the instincts first. Number 2, speak to the imagination. Number 3, speak to the intelligence, and do it in that order. Hope this has been helpful. Hey, pop in the comments, what's been most helpful for you? What's most helped you in this video? I'd really love to know what's been most helpful and what's stood out to you the most. Pop in the comments. I'd really love to hear from you, your thoughts, and I always read and respond to every comment. So thank you for being here, my friends. Until I see you again, just remember to keep showing up, keep sharing, and keep shining, because the world is waiting for your words. Big love to you. Have an awesome evening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.